5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as we're sitting here in this chamber, right now off the coast of Groton, Connecticut, 30 miles from the Groton Navy subbase, which is the oldest submarine base in America, there is a Russian spy ship, the Viktor Leonov, that is loitering, as was reported this morning from the Navy and news sources, off the coast, again, within the bare minimum of international waters. I can attest to the fact, having just flown down from Connecticut a few days ago, anyone who would loiter off the coast of Connecticut is not doing it because of the great climate and weather. It's freezing weather out there, and they are doing it, obviously, with aggressive intent, to say the least. Mr. Speaker, this is part of a pattern that is going on right now, not just off the east coast of the U.S., but also overseas. The USS Porter, which is a Navy missile ship, was buzzed by military aircraft from Russia on February 10th. They came within 200 yards of the ship. And again, because we have such incredibly competent and professional leadership that captained those vessels, an incident was avoided. However, the danger of jet aircraft moving within 200 yards of a U.S. naval ship obviously is just common sense to anyone how high risk that is in terms of creating an incident that could have huge ramifications. In addition to that, the news reported again just the last couple days or so that the Russian military is now deploying intermediate medium-range nuclear warheads in different places throughout Eastern Europe or Western Russia, near Eastern Europe. And again, this is clearly in violation of treaties that go back decades. And as General Breedlove, who was the commander of NATO, and the European command rather, who just stepped down, said that this new effort really just cannot go unanswered. It completely destabilizes the balance of power in that theater of the world. Again, the folks in Connecticut woke up this morning with that news about the spy ship off the coast. As you can imagine, it has created a lot of consternation and questions. Once again, I would reiterate that I have total confidence in our Navy leadership, both at the Groton Navy Base and here in Washington, that they will react to this with total vigilance and professional competence to make sure that, again, our security is protected. But I think it's time now for all of us in Washington, D.C. to understand that Vladimir Putin, during the 5 years that he has been in power, again, has taken a posture that is completely destabilizing any sort of global system of peace and security. This new administration, which clearly has an infatuation with Putin, and this goes back during the campaign with President Trump, talking on the campaign trail about his high regard for Putin's leadership. We need to basically move on and recognize that this is an emerging threat and that we have to take all necessary steps to respond to it, both in the short term, but also obviously as we take up defense policy and defense budgets, which is that the resurgence of the Russian Navy is a game changer in terms of the demands on our fleet. That's something that, again, on the Sea Power Committee, which I am the ranking member, we are working hard in terms of implementing the Obama administration's boost to Navy shipbuilding and increasing the fleet size. But again, we need to really, as I said, just disavow ourselves of any naive assumptions that somehow the Putin government is somehow something that we can trust and shows any regard for international norms or international law. Again, to the folks back home, I want you to know we are monitoring this situation with our Navy team down here in Washington. And again, I have total confidence that we are on top of this situation. But it is a reminder that the Russian government and the investment that they have put into their Navy fleet is not a friendly gesture in terms of creating a system of global peace and security. And this administration needs to wake up and recognize that and move on to a bipartisan effort to respond to this threat. And they can do that by, again, disclosing all of the background regarding General Flynn's interaction with the Russian government, because it's part and parcel of all those incidents which I listed in terms of aggressive actions that are happening in real time as we're here in Washington, D.C. today. With that, I yield back, Mr. Speaker.
Gentleman yield.